My next guest in the show today, she's from Walla Walla, Washington. She can sail like a ship, fly like a bird, dance like a charm, and lead like a boss. And she's one of the most emotionally intelligent and empathetic leaders I've ever met in my career. Let's welcome Kris Lande, SVP Trailblazer Ecosystem from Salesforce to Talkies. Hey Kris, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing well, thank you. And I do not know how to dance. I'm just going to say that right now. There will be no dancing.
You know what? You guys look totally out of control there in that pic. I just wanted to point out that. And I also didn't have a metaphor for the zombie pic, Kris. Just take us through these memories for us.
Well, the zombie pic is a special one. So that was from about 10 years ago. And my husband and I got married, just a couple months before Halloween that year. And so we thought, since we had just gotten married for Halloween, we should dress up as a zombie bride and groom. So that is that picture. And we were very terrifying. We had a lot of fun dressing up. I love costumes. So that was very fun. Very fun Halloween.
If I had to choose a metaphor for that, I could have put it as she can scare like hell as well. Just wanted to let you know.
Yes, exactly.
These pictures actually have wonderful stories behind them. But again, it all started from your childhood. Take us a little through your childhood, Kris.
Sure, yeah. So as you mentioned, I grew up in a small town in Walla Walla, Washington. We joke it's the town so nice that they named it twice. But I grew up there, small town. My parents actually divorced when I was pretty young. And so I grew up with my mom and my sister. My mom was a single working mom, and my sister was disabled. So kind of at a young age, I think I was kind of forced to grow up pretty early and pretty quickly. And so I think from a young age, I've been very independent. I've taken care of my sister when I was younger, as my mom was working. My mom was earning money to feed and house her family. So yeah, I think my childhood was definitely an interesting one. I grew up really quickly, really early. I started working at a pretty young age. So yeah, I became really independent at a young age.
Yeah. So that brings me to my next question, which is, you started working at the age of 13. I was useless at that age. I was running around trees behind my house. Tell us a little about your first job, Kris.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I couldn't wait to start working. I think because I saw my mom working. That was kind of what you did, and I was really excited to have my first job. And at 13, I begged my mom. At 13, I finally got my first paper route, which is basically where you go and you deliver newspapers to your local neighborhood. So I begged my mom, can I please have a paper route? I wanted to make my own money. So I was very excited. I got it at age 13, got my first paper route. And from there, I've always had jobs. I had the paper route. I've worked in restaurants. I worked at a law firm in high school. So it's something that from a very young age, I was always very, very cognizant that I wanted to build my resume. I was always thinking about that, like, gotta get these great jobs so I can build my resume out. Because I had this model of my mom who was, she was a single working mother. And I saw that and I wanted to be that. And I was really focused on that, really focused on building that resume and having those great first jobs.
When I see you as a leader, a couple of things which we really observe if we are close to you is, one is you are very emotionally intelligent and you're hands-on as a leader, right? That emotional intelligence, I definitely know it comes from your childhood where you had to take care of your sister. And the other thing is about, you being very hands-on. Talk us a little about that as well.
Sure, yeah. Well, yeah, like you mentioned, I think growing up and really taking care of my disabled sister from a young age, I am definitely a caretaker. I love nurturing people. I love taking care of people. I love helping them do the best that they can. And I think that I bring that to the team, where I really want to help my team, set them up for success to do the best work that they can. And, I often joke that I like to just set up the team, get them going, and then get out of their way. Because, we have such an amazing team and everyone is so talented. And my job is really just to put the opportunities in front of them and then get out of the way. And I think a lot of that, kind of the reason like I love this work so much, like I think this team is doing some of the best work in the company. Like we are so lucky to be able to work with our trailblazers, work with our community, work with this amazing product, Salesforce. So I think I feel very passionate about the work that we do, and I feel very passionate about setting up the team to do the best work of their lives.
Absolutely. And you have done a bit of everything in Salesforce over the last 10 years. And this is something we know. Can you talk to us more about, what you have done?
Yeah. So I've been at Salesforce for about 10 years. And then before Salesforce, I was actually a Salesforce administrator. So I really came into Salesforce with a love of the Salesforce product. I came in with that admin mindset of solving problems. I love working in the product. So during my time at Salesforce, I've done a little bit of everything. I've built demos, I've delivered demos, I've done keynotes, I've done marketing, I've done social media marketing, I've done events, I've done a little bit of everything. And I always joke that it makes me a little dangerous because I know a little bit of everything.
Yeah, no wonder you're hands-on.
Exactly. And I'm hands-on because I love the work too. And I do think that people who really understand and know our customers, people who know our business, people who know the product, like that is the magic trifecta that makes you not only an amazing leader, but it makes you amazing at your job because you really understand those three things. And you can do a better job because you know those three things: the customer, the business, and the product.
Absolutely. Kris, I'm going to ask you something. This is something a lot of leaders do not agree to, but I'm going to ask you this. Should leaders know it all?
Oh, no, definitely not. I mean, speaking for myself, I definitely do not know it all. However, I have this amazing team who is so talented and they are so amazing. And between all of us, between the team, like we will get it done. But no, a leader should not know it all. A leader should be honest about when to say I don't know, when to say like I have this amazing person on my team and she knows that. And I think that really kind of builds this honesty, it builds transparency, and it really builds collaboration of a team working together and really leaning on each other's strengths, because not one person can know it all. Like we all work together to be a better team and to work together with our shared talents and collaborate to bring magical things together.
Awesome. Thank you so much for answering that, Kris, because I hope leaders across the globe are listening to this. My next question, Kris, is, you've been a product of the Trailblazer community. You've been in the Trailblazer community. What makes it so special?
Yeah, so I mentioned before, I used to be a Salesforce admin before I came to work at Salesforce. So, and I've been in our Trailblazer shoes where, I had to completely implement Salesforce from an old system. And I had to go through all those problems of bringing the data over and, really dealing with like, okay, how do we get everything over? How do we get things from the database into Salesforce? And so I've worked through all those problems. And when I was working through that, I found this amazing community of people, of Salesforce professionals who were helping me. And this was even before we had the online community as we know it today. But I remember this was back in like 2005, 2006. And I remember reaching out to people in the Salesforce community before we had the actual online community, and people were helping me. They were sharing their tips, they were sharing their tricks, they were telling me, okay, so to get it out of this CRM and get it into Salesforce, this is what you do. And people just went out of their way to help me answer my questions. And from that moment, this was 15 years ago. From that moment, I just knew that this community was special and I had never seen anything like that. And I felt a part of this amazing community from day one. And this is why I am so passionate about the work that we do, because this community is unlike no other. And we really work together to help each other bring out the best in each other, whether that's working with the product, whether that's in your career or in your community. So I'm just super passionate about this community because I've really been on the other side of the community helping me be better at my job.
Absolutely, Kris. Salesforce makes these people feel special, and happy people, happy communities. I totally agree.
Exactly.
And Kris, Trailhead DX is around the corner, June 23rd.
It is.
Everybody's so excited about it. And this is an in-person attendance that we're looking at for a long time after the pandemic. Your thoughts on this, and what have you got to say to the Apex Salesforce developers?
Yeah, so I am pumped. So Trailhead DX is on June 23rd. So we're going to have an amazing main show hosted by the one and the only Parker Harris, who I know we all love, especially in the developer community. So really excited to bring some really awesome product news. So we have a great keynote. We have demos. We're going to have some sneak peeks into some future product that is coming. So highly encourage everyone to tune in June 23rd with Parker Harris. And then we, of course, have our entire day of episodes. So we have 5 different tracks this year for admins, developers, architects, IT leaders, and our whole ecosystem of Trailblazers, including our partners. So we have some awesome content in store, our great episodes. We'll get hands-on. You're going to learn a ton. June 23rd. Have I mentioned that it's June 23rd?
Yes, 23rd. You have. You did. You did a couple of times. I know you're excited. Okay. So we are. We'll all be there for sure. Kris, thank you so much for being part of Dev Talkies. It's been a pleasure hosting you. Some great leadership lessons in this conversation. But before you go, it's a tradition in Dev Talkies. You are our super boss. You have given us a budget, so we have the flexibility to give away some gifts to our guests. So you are our guest today. Because you and your husband sail, pretty much most of the year, you're going to get these captain caps. I didn't know which one of you is the captain there, so I didn't want you guys to fight. So I'm giving you 2 captain caps and a couple of
perfect. We're
black sailor t-shirts. Co-captains, there you go.
We are co-captains. This is amazing. Thank you so much. We will definitely enjoy these.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kris, again, and see you soon.
Thanks, Kiran.
Do you like us? Is it? How do we know that? Okay, do this. Please comment, like, and subscribe to our videos. Then we will know it.